evening, everybody. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Sam, and I'm very excited to be here tonight to celebrate not just one, but two of my best friends getting married. I've known Caitlin and Matt for a long time. Caitlin and I grew up together, and we were practically inseparable. We spent so much time together that we were never really independently known as Sam or as Caitlin. Our names were always used in some big word jumble of Sam and Kate or Kate and Sam. But I think it's really cool having a friend that you know for your entire life, because you tend to just know things about them that you wouldn't had you met them as an adult. For instance, I have the pleasure of knowing that Caitlin's favorite Barbie doll growing up was named Emma, because that was the name of her favorite Spice Girl. Or that even though Caitlin played competitive soccer for most of her life, the year I remember her being most excited for a season to start was when we were in elementary school playing in Harry Dickey Boomers, and Caitlin had been assigned to the purple team. And she was so excited because purple was her favorite color. And apparently it still is. But I'm so impressed with the person that Caitlin has become, and I'm so proud of her for building this amazing life and for having a successful grown-up job, especially when I remember the days when her main aspiration in life was to become an Olsen twin. And like with anybody, there were a couple of tough times to get through too, like in first grade when Caitlin couldn't make it through a sleepover without crying because she missed her mom too much. Or a few years down the road when Kate got into her first fist fight. I remember that one well because it happened to be against me. And I lost. But one of my favorite things about knowing Kate for so long, especially today, is that I got to be around for the beginning of her and Matt's love story. And I never would have known when we were at high school prom and these two were on their very first date that we would wind up here 8 years later. That they'd make it through years of long distance dating, eventually moving to a new city, buying a house, even adopting their first baby together. Of course, I'm referring to their cat, Lily. And somewhere along the line, Kate and Sam became Kate and Matt. But if there was anybody who I would want taking care of my best friend, my sister, it would be this guy. And I'm so glad that Kate is ending up with somebody who is so kind and smart and genuine. And Matt also happens to be the most responsible 26-year-old I've ever met. I've actually seen him turn down weekend plans because he had promised to stay home and mow the lawn. But that's just who Matt is. He's the guy that you can rely on. The guy that will get into his car and do a full driver's ed check, putting on his seatbelt, adjusting his mirrors, even idling in the driveway for a few minutes to let the car engine warm up, even in the summertime. And I would pick on Matt's tendencies to adhere to speeding laws a little bit more than the average 20-something. But I probably shouldn't because it has its perks. After all, Matt has been the designated driver at every concert we've been to for the better part of a decade. It's true. Caitlin, on the other hand, well, I wouldn't think of Kate as a bad driver. But I would say that she is a little less careful than Matt is. Like the night when she drove all the way across town without turning her headlights on, only to park facing the wrong direction down a one-way street. But I think it's safe to say that Kate and Matt have always been a little bit different from one another. For instance, in high school chemistry class, Matt was the guy setting the grade curve so high that hardly anybody else in class could get an A. Whereas Caitlin broke so much lab equipment that semester that she actually owed the school money. We had this thing in high school called Spirit Week, and it was essentially a week-long pep rally where Every day you had to dress up in a different themed costume, and the school would deem a winner of best costume. Well, Caitlin wasn't just chosen as winner of best costume on one day. Oh no. Caitlin was chosen as winner of all of Spirit Week, the most creative, eccentric, enthusiastic person in our entire school. Now, Matt has always been a little bit more conservative with his wardrobe choices. When they first got engaged, I was looking back at pictures from when they first started dating, and I began to notice a similar pattern. And I mean that in the literal sense, because if you look at a picture of Matt from high school, there's a 99% chance he will be wearing some variety of blue or red striped polo shirt. But because of their differences, I can confidently say that Kate and Matt are much better off together than they ever would be on their own. Caitlin's always going to be there to push Matt, to expand his horizons, and to make him try food that he thinks looks gross. And Matt will always be there to take care of Kate, to remember the things that she forgets, and to make sure that she always has the perfect amount of air pressure in her tires. So obviously, I don't know where life is going to take the two of you, but as long as you go at it together, I'm not worried, because I know you're going to do great. So with that, I'd like to raise a glass, pretend glass, to my wonderful friends. I love you guys so much, and I couldn't be happier for you. Cheers.